A roux is one of the most classic sauce/stew thickeners. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take equal parts butter and flour by volume. So a couple of, however much butter we put in, we're just going to melt this over a medium to low flame. And the idea here is that raw flour has a really distinct flavor. And as we toast the roux, as we cook the flour, it's going to take on a really distinct kind of nutty, interesting flavor as the butter starts to brown and the flour starts to brown. We don't, however, want to burn the roux, and depending upon the dish you're making, there's either like a blonde roux, which is completely light, not toasted at all. There's a brown roux, and then there's a dark brown roux. So different dishes have a different kind of like toastiness of roux, and it really imparts a distinct flavor. We want to be a little bit careful about the measurements here because we want to make sure that we put the right amount of flour, otherwise it can get really gunky and thick. So I'm going to measure it out and make sure that I put the equal amount by volume of flour and butter. And then what we're going to do here is we're just going to cook the flour and the butter melted together, whisking the entire time. And what you're going to see is the flour is going to soak up the melted butter, and then it's going to start to cook, and it's going to go from this kind of weird solid to almost like a liquid. And you want to be extremely, extremely careful because roux is like molten lava, and you get the worst burns. Because what winds up happening is you get this, butter that's 400 or 500 degrees, and then the flour is like glue and it sticks to you and it insulates itself, and it really makes the worst burn. So just like when you're working with sugar, you really, really want to be careful working with roux, not to burn yourself, not to get any of it on you. And you want to, I'm a chef, so I'm constantly sticking my finger in and tasting. Absolutely not when it comes to roux. So we can see it's just kind of toasting away here. And at a certain point, I can already smell it, this kind of like raw flour. And over this medium kind of heat, I'm just constantly stirring and whisking. And this is our blonde roux.